Gas prices hit an all-time high of $4.25 per gallon today, and state leaders have a plan to lower them right away. The cost of suspending the state gas tax. Paula.
The sign says the Dollar Tree, but it's actually something else. They have gone up a quarter on everything. How the new price hike is affecting people who are already dealing with lots of price hikes.
Plus, prosecutors say they wanted to spark a second civil war. Shocking allegations from opening statements as 4 men go on trial in the plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer. Paul.
Yeah, hey, Karen, turned out to be a really nice day today. You see bright sunshine shining down on Mount Clemens right now, but a cold front is coming into the area right now. It's going to cool us down, and then we have snow to talk about. All of that straight ahead.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
First at 4, with gas prices continuing to hit record highs, state Republicans are pushing a plan to freeze the gas tax. Michigan's gas tax is 27 cents per gallon, and Republican leaders in the House and Senate want to suspend it for 6 months. Now, that money typically pays for road and bridge fixes, but Michigan does currently have a multi-billion-dollar budget surplus. The legislature is expected to pass this in the coming days, but it's not clear if Governor Whitmer supports it. Yesterday, she asked Congress to suspend the federal gas tax. That's 18 cents a gallon. Today, we asked if she thinks that will happen.
Well, I'm hopeful. I'm grateful that Senator Stabenow, Congressman Kildee, Congresswoman Slotkin have been really working this. And this would be a relief not just for Michiganders, but for all Americans that are grappling with the high cost of fuel. But I also think it's a lesson in why we can't rely on foreign nations for our energy to meet our energy needs.
Coming up at 5, our Victor Williams will take a look at how this state tax proposal could impact you with a breakdown of the savings. Well, the state of Michigan is trying to cut all ties with Russia. Today, the State Investment Board told Michigan's retirement systems to dump any assets invested in Russian companies and securities. It comes as the fighting escalates, with Russia targeting a hospital for mothers today. Jason Colthorpe in the newsroom with the new developments on the war. Jason.
Yeah, Karen, a Russian airstrike destroyed a maternity hospital in a port city, and Ukraine's president says children were inside. Video shows the aftermath of the airstrikes, charred vehicles, fire coming from the building, and people being helped out of there. Ukraine says 17 people were hurt, including staff and mothers in the maternity ward. But at this point, there have been no reports of any injuries to children. Today, Secretary of State Antony Blinken questioned Poland's proposal to send fighter jets to Ukraine. It would require Poland to give them to the U.S., then the U.S. would transfer them to Ukraine. Blinken says that raises a serious concern for the entire NATO alliance.
So we have to work through the specifics of these things going forward. And it's not simply clear to us that there is a substantive rationale for doing it in the way that was put forward yesterday. So what we're doing right now is continuing to consult very closely with Poland, with other NATO allies on this, and the logistical challenges that it presents.
Vice President Kamala Harris is on her way to Poland now. She'll meet with Poland's president and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to talk about that fighter jet offer and other ways to help Ukraine defend itself. Right now, the House is pushing through more than $13 billion in aid for Ukraine and its European allies. Some of the money will go to Eastern European countries who continue to take in the 2 million refugees that we've already seen from Ukraine. Lots to follow with this. Karen, for now, back to you.
All right, we'll see you at 5. Thanks, Jason. Opening statements began today in the plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer, with prosecutors saying the 4 men on trial wanted to hogtie the governor and then spark another civil war. Local 4 defender Sean Lay following these big developments in court.
Well, good afternoon. With the jury seated late yesterday, today was the first full day of the trial against 4 members of the Wolverine Watchman militia group. Now, they're facing possible life in prison for allegedly plotting and training to launch a deadly, violent attack to kidnap Governor Whitmer. Here's what's happening right now. Adam Fox of West Michigan Barry Croft of Maryland, Daniel Harris of Waterford, and Brandon Caserta of Canton. They're facing federal charges of conspiracy to kidnap the governor over her COVID mandates and state shutdowns. Conspiracy means the feds have to prove the men all agreed to plan to launch the attack. Opening statements today, where defense attorneys say there was no agreement on the plot, period. Federal prosecutors say the evidence will show that the plot was not just talk, but messages and voice recordings will show that the group was intent on taking action. Coming up in 1 hour, live at 5 o'clock, the first witness called today to the witness stand will tell you what he had to say, and those key voice recordings were played for the jury in court. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Sean. Attorney General Dana Nessel announces the first charges in connection to the sex abuse claims against the Boy Scouts of America. 51-year-old Mark Chapman faces 10 counts of criminal sexual conduct. Prosecutors say Chapman sexually assaulted 2 boys at the time he was the scoutmaster in Roseville. They say Chapman also worked in and attended the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The Attorney General's office and state police are examining about 5,000 claims sent from the Boy Scouts of America national organization for review.
This is not a joke to us. These are people's lives, and we are determined to investigate, use all of our resources that we possibly can to investigate these cases, and where the evidence leads to charges, to prosecute these cases vigorously.
An $850 million civil settlement was announced last year between the Boy Scouts of America and more than 60,000 individuals who sued the organization over alleged sexual abuse. All right, a warmer Wednesday, a little bit of sunshine, so let's get over to Paul with our first look at the forecast. Paul, we need to enjoy this. Things are going to change, right?
Yeah, I mean, and boy, that sunshine, wasn't that great today? Oh, the sunshine means so much. It makes such a difference, especially in March when the sun angle is higher. You feel those rays, and we got well into the 40s for highs today. Now, it is a little breezy in some spots, 10 to 15 mile per hour winds, maybe even a little stronger there over in Pontiac, but overall, boy, no complaints. What a great day. Visible satellite imagery, though, shows you here. This is the cold front coming our way. You can see it right here. So we'll get a band of clouds with the front, but it's dry. There's nothing to show you on radar. And then once the front goes by, we'll clear out again. So a fairly quiet night ahead. It's just we have a colder air mass coming in, and we will cool quickly this evening. In fact, we're going to cool way down all the way to 30 by midnight and dropping down even colder than that by tomorrow morning. So coming up, we're going to talk about with the colder air coming in, that means the next moisture falls as snow. We're going to get some accumulation Friday. We're going to have a bitter cold Saturday. I mean, really cold, but then we're going to warm up Sunday, and we'll be near 60 degrees by the middle of next week. We'll talk about all of that straight ahead, Karen.
All right, thank you, Paul. We are getting another look at the changing coronavirus situation here in Michigan. The state reporting a 2-day total of 1,739 new cases, breaking down to an average of 869 a day. We lost another 240 lives. Pfizer is testing a COVID antiviral treatment for kids. It's starting second and third test phases for Paxlovid in children ages 6 to 17. The treatment has already been okayed for high-risk people 12 and older. University of Michigan is dropping its mask mandate in indoor spaces like residence halls, but they will still be required in classrooms. Price hikes seem to be impacting nearly every aspect of our lives, and a new survey finds 2/3 of Americans now say they are living paycheck to paycheck. Paula Tutman live at the Dollar Tree in Utica. Paula, this is really adding up for everybody.
Yeah, it really is. And I'm going to start by breaking a little bit of girl code and tell you that I can actually remember when candy bars were only 10 cents a candy bar. Now, Dollar Tree, for instance, they've been saying for the last 35 years that pretty much everything is $1. Interestingly enough, candy bars are a little bit less. But because of everything else that's been happening, you may not have noticed that their prices have changed. The signs still say Dollar Tree, but inside the price is something else. They have gone up a quarter on everything. Last year, Dollar Tree Corporation announced it would raise prices, and about 2.5 months ago, it did. The Dollar Tree is now the $1.25 tree, and most people seem to have barely noticed until now, when gas prices popped over the $4 mark.
And I think it's because it's a dollar store. So it's $1, and everybody's thinking, well, $1.25. But if it was $20 and they raised it 25%, make it $25, it's a big difference.
Dollar Tree has 15,000 plus stores in the U.S. and Canada, and keep in mind, it's been the $1.25 tree in Canada for quite some time. As you probably guessed, investors are happy because earnings have gone up close to 36% in the last year, as consumers looked for more ways to buy more for less.
It all hurts. Yeah,
Yeah.
the gas prices and everything's up. Meat's up. Everything's up. So it hurts. Yeah, but especially we're retired, so we're on a fixed income. So anytime you see something go up, you don't like it. You know, you want to see stuff go down.
The hike is a big one when you put it in perspective. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, cereals and bakery foods, for instance, saw the largest price increase ever with a massive jump of 1.8%. Now that's pretty big. Dairy went up 1.1%. But look at this. Meat products went up 30%. Fruits and veggies just under 90%. By comparison, this is a 25% hike, somewhere in the middle of those shooting arrows. But most customers say it's still an incredible value.
My mom's birthday is in a couple of weeks. I get a card for $1.25. If I go in a regular store, I'm going to pay $3, $4 a card. So I kind of know the things that I'm going to buy.
Quarter is not a big deal, but you know, the way things are now, I understand.
In a news release, it says it's not inflation that's upping the price, but a desire to improve the customer experience. Most customers we spoke to today said the experience is fine, even with the big price hike.
It's like there was a lady in front of me that are doing craft projects and things you don't want to spend a lot of money on. This is a great place.
Yeah, you know, you may wonder how on earth were they even making a profit selling most everything for only $1? But Karen, get this, their 2021 report, financial report says that they pulled in somewhere in the neighborhood of $26.5 billion in 2021. I think you can almost count on that going up by 25% for 2022.
Wow,
Karen?
those numbers. All right, thank you, Paula. We do appreciate it. Well, tonight, Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan will give his 9th State of the City address with a focus on jobs and also redevelopment. You can watch it live on Local 4, our streaming app, Local 4 Plus, or click on Detroit.com. It starts at 7. Also, an important programming note. That means Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy will air over on Me TV.